from rewinding back to her record-breaking runs that had everyone gasping, to the outpouring of respect and admiration from everyone around her. Here's why athletes should be scared of Abby Steiner. In case you didn't know already, Abby Steiner is an incredible athlete. She's an American sprinter who's taken the track and field world by storm. Abby holds the U.S. indoor records for the 200 and 300 meters. Plus, she's got the NCAA record in the 200 meters under her belt too. And if you think those are the only feathers in her cap, think again. Her personal best times are just off the charts. She dashed through 100 meters in 10.90 seconds and blazed across 200 meters in 21.77 seconds. Plus, she's among the top 10 fastest women the world has ever seen in both events. But Abby didn't just wake up one day and start breaking records. She's been at it since she was in the 8th grade, and our NCAA record holder was also a whiz at soccer, back in her Dublin-Kaufman High School days in Ohio. She ruled the track, bagging 16 state individual championships and setting 4 state high school records. All this while being an all-star soccer player too. After tearing it up on the track and the soccer field in high school, she decided to keep up the double duty when she got to the University of Kentucky. Abby was such a powerhouse athlete that she snagged a dual sport scholarship. Can you imagine being so good that you're starting every game for the UK's soccer team in your first year? That's what Abby did, all 19 games. And she didn't just warm the bench, she was out there making things happen, scoring goals and setting up her teammates. She put 2 goals on the board and tallied 5 assists in her freshman season. But then, she made a game-changing decision. After that soccer season, Abby chose to commit full-time to track. When she shifted her focus entirely to running, she came under the mentorship of the UK's coach, Edric Floreal. With Coach Floreal's guidance, Abby worked on her technique, improved her training regimen, and majorly boosted her speed and endurance. And let me tell you, competition at the college level in track and field is no joke. She was up against some serious talent. Big names like Tamara Clark and Sha'Carri Richardson. But Abby, being Abby, just used it as a stepping stone, pushing herself even harder. The result? She absolutely blew away the competition at the SEC and NCAA levels. She broke several records, collected title after title, and established herself as one of the most insanely talented sprinters the college track has ever seen. So, let's fast forward a bit to 2022. This was the year Abby's star really started to shine when she qualified for the US Olympic trials in not just one, but both the 100 and 200 meter events. You should have seen her in the 200-meter final. She stormed through the finish line with a world-leading time of 21.77 seconds. She left everyone, including big shots like Clark and Jenna Prandini, eating her dust. With that incredible win, she booked her ticket to the Olympic team. And the 100-meter? Even though she didn't take the top spot, she still finished in an impressive 4th place, clocking a blazing fast 10.90 seconds. This super quick time meant she was also in for the 4x100-meter relay team. Next stop, the Tokyo Olympics. Now this is where the stakes were sky high. Abby didn't disappoint. She ran in the qualifying heats for both relays, helping Team USA speed their way into the finals. Even though she didn't get to run in the finals, she still scored big. 2 shiny silver medals hung around her neck for being part of the relay teams. On the individual front, she ran the 200-meter race too. She didn't make it past the semifinals, finishing 9th overall with a time of 22.12 seconds. But just getting to the Olympics and competing at that level is such a massive achievement. Abby was out there, representing her country and making a name for herself on the biggest stage in the world. Now let's talk about what happened after the Olympics. You might think Abby could have let the disappointment get to her, but nope. She proved herself at the World Athletics Championships held in Eugene, Oregon in 2022 as well. Steiner was back at it again, running in both relays. But this time, she and her teammates ran like there was no tomorrow, absolutely crushing it against Jamaica and other fierce competitors. They came home with 2 glorious gold medals. Abby also competed individually in the 200M. She really turned on the afterburners, crossing the finish line 5th in the final. She clocked a brilliant 22.01 seconds, barely missing the podium by just 0.04 seconds. Beyond her physical abilities, Abby has also got this fierce competitive spirit, a fire in her belly that just won't quit. She has a deep, passionate love for running, and it shows in every race she competes in. On top of that, she's still in the early stages of her career. Abby is still young, and she's only just starting to test her limits on the international stage. But Abby's journey hasn't always been a smooth run. She's had her fair share of hurdles to clear, not on the track, but off it. Back in 2016, Abby suffered a pretty nasty injury. She tore her right ACL. Now, if you know anything about injuries, you'll know that's a major one, and it put her out of action for almost a year. Then came 2020. The world turned upside down because of the pandemic. Well, Abby had just clinched the SEC Indoor Championship in the 200-meter when everything came to a screeching halt. Her momentum, her rhythm, everything was disrupted as the season shut down. Just when we thought she had the worst behind her, 2021 rolled in with another punch. Abby was at the top of her game again, having won the NCAA Indoor Championship in the 200-meter. But then, tragedy struck. She injured her Achilles, one of the worst injuries for a sprinter. It was a massive setback, forcing her to sit out the outdoor season and put her Olympic dreams on hold. And now, let's talk about the drama she got herself in. You see, Abby had a bit of a hiccup at the 2022 USATF Outdoor Championships. This was a big deal because these races were also the trials for the World Championships. Our girl was all set for the 200-meter final. She'd just smashed her personal best in the semifinals, running an astounding 21.80 seconds. With that speed, she shattered the NCAA record and became the second fastest American woman in the event. But then, in the final, she had a bit of a false start. Abby flinched before the starting gun went off, and unfortunately, that's a big no-no in sprinting. Despite appealing the decision and saying she reacted to another runner's movement, the officials didn't budge. They disqualified her from the race, but she still got on the World Championships team as an alternate for the relays. And you know what happens when you're in the limelight, right? Some people started questioning Abby's racing tactics and performance at the World Championships. They wondered why she chose to run both relays instead of focusing on the individual 200-meter, where she could have potentially medaled. Some others nitpicked her performance in the 200-meter final. They thought she could have run faster or pushed harder. Abby finished 7th with a time of 22.15 seconds in the 200-meter final, which was significantly off her personal best of 21.77 seconds she set earlier that year. But Abby didn't let the criticism get to her. She stood her ground, saying she did her best and that she was proud of her achievements. And she still has a lot of fans standing behind her. But Abby Steiner isn't just impressing fans. She's also earning major respect from her opponents, coaches, and pretty much everyone who's following her sprinting career. First off, let's talk about her opponents. You think they'd be all bitter about losing to her, right? Well, it's quite the opposite. Take Tamara Clark from Alabama, for instance. After Abby zipped past everyone in the 200-meter at the 2022 NCAA Indoor Championships, Clark had nothing but admiration for her. She was like, "She's amazing, she's a great runner, she's very consistent, she's very strong. I'm happy for her." Even Abby's coaches, who've seen her hard work and dedication up close. Lonnie Green, her UK coach, is all praise for her. He has said that Abby is a phenomenal young lady. She works hard every day. She's very coachable. She has a lot of upside. And her high school coach, Greg King, isn't far behind in singing her praises. According to him, she's just a phenomenal athlete. She can do anything she puts her mind to. But you know who's really got Abby's back? Her fans. They've been cheering her on every step of the way, sharing their love and support all over social media. According to them, Abby Steiner is a beast. And you know what? They're all absolutely spot on. Abby Steiner is a force to be reckoned with, a sprinting superstar in the making. So, from the outpouring of respect and admiration from everyone around her, to rewinding back to her record-breaking runs that had everyone gasping in awe, this was why athletes should be scared of Abby Steiner.